I was old. I owned a harp, and the harpist was you, my love. My fibre was weak. My backbone was given, 'tis true, to sentimental reflection. But the electorate, they fetishized my heart, they possessed my mind in its all, and my spirit was very evenly distributed, though my eyes were wet. Yeah, I was old. I owned 200 acres, and the gamekeeper, he was in love with me. I ate what I wanted, though I wanted only you. There was nobody then who could stop me. I was so tasteful and careless, and I wish then that if you could but have only seen me more often. I was old. I had many new notions. Everybody said I had an ear for public opinion, and everybody said my jawline was divine. Some evenings I couldn't stop talking shit. But, darling, I drove a soft-top sedan. Darling, I cured pancreatic cancer. I kissed my heroes. I kissed their fans. And I bought my mother dinner. And my father poured us both a drink. And yeah, I was old. I drank toast to my family and my family's families, and so on, and then I came to yours. I could not measure my satisfaction, though some did try. But I was so strong and aimless, and I cheered over available parking spaces, and I cheered over animals on the loose from my poorly guarded menagerie, and I cheered to see those cups of black tea you brewed that we could stand up our spoons in. I was old, I had to refuse to take the crown from many. Many said no one blushed better than me. Yeah, some nights I had to sing just to remind them I was human. To sing till it hurt my brain, and the rain was less than romantic. I knew Esperanto, shoemaking, sweet music, and religion, and bookbinding, cigars, and card tricks. And then my mother, my phenomenal mother. When she died, I arranged for her a parade ever greater than even that of my phenomenal father. And yeah, the fallen leaves flew back up to the trees just to see it. Yeah, I was old. I got so old I started smoking again. And the guards started slipping me fivers, and the courtiers kissed my forehead goodnight. My enemies soon learnt to cast a blind eye upon my seizures, my fits, my ignoble flatulence, and my weeping moments. And when I failed to exile misery in its entire, you and I, together, we tracked it down to that cold hall, still lit by the dewy dawn, and from there on we all slept until noon. Because I was old. Because the sun confided in me when no one else would. And because that was the time I refused to receive not one soul but yours. Do you remember that year I became incapable of curses? Do you remember all that property I bought for us? For you? For you. I mean, do you remember the week I thought I was still young? And you laughed then. And you laughed long. So enchantingly long. And I knew then that would be the closest I could come to knowing you. Oh, I was old. I didn't recognize my legs. My cheeks were swollen. I was old. And I realize now that I gesticulated far too vague when asked whether it were most expedient for a statesman to die in the autumn or in the spring. And eating straight from the table and drinking with final daring from a golden string and slipping at last strangest rings upon your fingers. I bid you sit closer still, till where once I sat, be where I find you now.